Now, last week we learned the Kaufman's name will start to disappear. Federated Department Stores is closing 3 local Kaufman stores and will also stop using the Kaufman's name sometime next year. Hundreds of jobs are affected by this. What does it mean to us shoppers? Well, joining me this morning with more on all this is Audrey Gusky. We love to have you here to help us break this down and decipher this major story for the area. Go over just the basics with us about what's happening.
Sure. Well, first of all, this is a very sad day in Pittsburgh because people are, in fact, even mourning. This is the end of a big retailing era. Kaufman's has been around for 133 years. I grew up with Gimbel's, Kaufman's, and Horn's, and now the last of the big department stores is leaving us, vacating the area, which is a sad story. Basically what happened way in the end of February, Federated bought out the May Company. These were the 2 biggest retail conglomerates in the country. The merger went through, and as a result, they announced last week that all of the department stores that Federated owns will become a Macy's, except for Lord & Taylor's and Marshall Field's. And so basically in the Pittsburgh area, as far as department stores go, all that we will have left is a Macy's, probably sometime in March of next year.
Now, there have been rumblings since that purchase was made last year. There have been rumblings about what was going to happen. Were you surprised by the announcement last week, or what was your reaction?
No, absolutely not. In fact, I predicted it on your show many, many months ago because we knew this was going to happen. This is the big strategy for Federated. Every time they went in and bought department stores, this was their biggest merger of all time, but they always put the name Macy's. They're trying to do that because they're trying to create this one nationally recognized department store. You have to think what's happening nationally. Department stores are hurting. People are shopping. They have so many other options. They're going to discounters.
You don't have to go to a store. You can go online.
Exactly.
You can stay at home.
You can go online, or you're going to go to Walmart, Target, or Kohl's for discounts, or outlet stores. And so department stores are becoming dinosaurs, and the only way for them to really survive is to pull all of their resources and financial capabilities and create this big mega department store, which is what Macy's name is going to be now.
So first of all, what's this going to do to these local malls? Which ones are the stores going to be closing in again?
Okay, well, we've got South Hills Village and Ross Park Mall and Monroeville Mall, and they're each going to be losing a store. And so in the end,
big anchor stores.
Huge anchor stores. So the big question that on everyone's mind is what's going to happen to that empty space. What we were hoping would happen in the Pittsburgh area is maybe a Bloomingdale's would come in, or even a Lord & Taylor's at one of the ends of the department stores. But that word hasn't come through, so I'm thinking if they didn't announce it with the big announcement, chances are that may not happen.
And then in terms of what it means to us when we go to shop, what will that mean to us with the absence of those stores, and what other stores will do to try to gain confidence?
Right. Well, I think it's huge for us as shoppers because as a consumer advocate, someone who studies what happens to consumers when you create, in a sense, a monopoly, when you start losing choices and only have 1 or 2 options in the area, which is what we're going to have, one option with Macy's, then prices may go up, quality merchandise may go down, and the service we receive may go down. Hopefully that won't happen. Macy's is a very established name. I like to look at what happened when Horn's left the Pittsburgh area. We're a very conservative, traditional market, and people didn't gravitate toward Lazarus because Lazarus never created that personality, that image, that brand that we wanted. It was an unknown, and it always stayed an unknown. Macy's at least is known and has a good reputation, so hopefully that will be good news.
But you're right. You still talk to people and they still use the names, Horn's, Gimbel's. I was at Gimbel's the other day. Well, no, you weren't, you know, but they do. That name sticks with people.
Yeah.
As somebody who tracks this kind of thing, how long does this take to really fully see the effects of it? How long will you be watching this?
Oh, we'll be watching this for years and years because what's going to end up happening, as we have discussed already, people are going to start gravitating toward other retailing options. So they may shop more at some of the discounters. They may go more online. And so I'm thinking that Macy's really has their job cut out for them. Federated really has to create this brand image and this name because people may be curious and stop at a Macy's and shop for a while, but they became so comfortable with Kaufman's. Kaufman's was truly loved and just people shopped there, and they were so successful. I mean, they were the only downtown department store that survived through all of this. And you still have JCPenney's, you still have a Sears, even though they're not on the upscale level that a Kaufman's or a Macy's would be. So I think they're going to perhaps try to increase their marketing dollars and increase their advertising and perhaps upscale a bit. And they may step in and take the place of Kaufman's, who knows.
And as far as jobs affected by this, hundreds?
Hundreds, yeah, hundreds. They claim about 700 because you've got 2,000 people who are working in all of these different retailing stores that are closing. And they claim, Federated claims that they're not going to lay anyone off. They're just going to try to place them somewhere somewhere else. But that's
Okay.
difficult to do when you're offering someone a job in another city when their home and their heart is in Pittsburgh.
Right, and we've heard people comment on that as well. You know, even if the company tries to do that, how am I going to leave? My family's here, my kids are in school
Especially if
here.
it's just a part-time job that you're working at. Yeah.
Right.
So it's a huge, huge effect. And once again, the retailing picture in Pittsburgh is changing dramatically. Downtown, hopefully we'll still keep the Macy's. That's also a question. But I think Federated would be foolish to lose that store.
And you haven't heard anything definite in terms of replacement stores at these malls, just
No.
kind of some rumors right now.
Yeah, exactly. And there might be a big box retailer that may possibly come in. But once again, it would be great to have a Bloomingdale somewhere in the area, or even a Lord & Taylor's come back into the Pittsburgh region.
I imagine all of them, they'll want to do something very soon with that. They don't want a whole lot of time to go by with an empty space sitting there.
Absolutely, because it's huge. And keep in mind the large amount of space they have, they could perhaps divide it into several smaller stores too. So a lot of options, but hopefully in the Pittsburgh area, something will happen very quickly. You have to think about too, Pittsburgh Mills Mall just opened a few weeks ago in Fraser Township, and so that was a huge, glamorous, glitzy, exciting opening, and now they're losing their Kaufman's. It's becoming a Macy's. And so are people maybe going to be shopping at that store more so than other ones because it just has become, the newer place to shop. So in Pittsburgh area in the past couple weeks, things have been huge as far as really retailing shakeups.
A lot of ripple effect there that we're seeing.
A lot of huge ripple effects.
Okay, yes. Audrey, thank you so much for coming in and helping us with all of that, and we'll love to have you back again soon to let us know how things progress.
We'll keep track of what's happening, absolutely, Jen.
All right, thank you.